In this video, we're going to explore a different database that you can use to find systematic reviews called the Cochrane Database of Systematic Reviews. So you can get to Cochrane through the link in the 410 course guide, or you can come to the library website and click on this Databases button. Then we'll click on C for Cochrane, and scroll down, and here it is, Cochrane Library with Systematic Reviews. So this is a database that specifically focuses on systematic reviews. So that's all you'll be able to find here. So the Cochrane Collaboration is an organization that's very well known for their systematic reviews. And they are known for doing very rigorous systematic reviews. And one thing to note is that Cochrane reviews are just called Cochrane reviews. They're not going to use the word systematic for whatever reason, but you know that a Cochrane review definitely is a systematic review because they follow a very rigorous protocol. So if you see something that just says a Cochrane review, you can trust that it is a systematic review. So there are a few different ways that you can search. There is an option to browse by topic. So you can come in and see all of the systematic reviews that fall under these general topics. So you could search that way if you didn't have a very specific idea in mind of what you wanted to do. Since you probably have a topic or a population of interest in mind for this assignment, you can just come right to this search box. And you'll notice that the search, even if you use the advanced search, looks a little bit different than it does in databases that you're used to, like CINAHL or Medline. And that's because when you're searching at CINAHL and Medline, there are millions of results. And you have to get fairly specific in order to be able to narrow down to a manageable number to look for. When you're searching a lot of other sources, including this Cochrane database, there just aren't as many articles in there to start with, so you don't have to get quite as specific. So that's why the search interface is a little bit simpler. You don't have to worry about that. You can just start very broad, and then you'll be able to find a manageable number of results to look through. So I'm going to stick with the same topic that we did before and look at diabetes and self-management. And for some reason, it hasn't been taking when I do that initial search. So if this happens, you can just put in your search again, hit go, and hopefully it will bring you some results. There we go. Okay, so you can already see compared to the 500 and something results that we had in the other databases, there are only 14 results here. So it's a very manageable number for you to look through and see if there's anything that jumps out at you. Because there aren't as many results, you're not going to necessarily find something on the exact topic or population that you had in mind. But if you are flexible, then you can probably find something that's close. One thing to pay attention to is this review versus protocol. So if you're looking at reviews, then you're going to be looking at Cochrane reviews, which are systematic reviews. You just want to keep an eye out and make sure you're not looking at a protocol, because a protocol is like a research proposal for a systematic review. They're writing about exactly how they're going to conduct their systematic review, and sometimes they'll go ahead and publish that before they actually get to conduct the review. So it might be really interesting to look at, but they haven't actually collected any data yet, so you're not going to have a lot to analyze. So you want to make sure that you're looking at actual reviews. So if you're worried about that, you can just check off review here, and that way you know that it's not showing you any protocols. So there are a few different options here that I could take a look at. I'm just going to click on this first one. So this is what you're going to see when you're looking at a Cochrane review. One of the first things you'll notice is that these tend to be very long and detailed. So it has the table of contents over here with all of the different sections. It starts out with a summary of the findings. So it's just going to go through give you a little bit of information, sort of like a drawn-out abstract. It's going to tell you the basic information you need to know about their objective, their search method, selection criteria, etc., and then their main results. So if you were just doing a very quick look, you just wanted to get an overview of what had been done, then you could look just at this overview section. There's also a plain language summary that you might be able to share with a patient or something like that. I'm going to go over a summary of their findings, and then you'll get into the full review. So you will find the sections that you're used to seeing, including the methodology section, the results, the discussion, and these are probably going to be very detailed because Cochrane reviews are very detailed. They're very well put together. There's a lot of information here. So just know that going in. And then there are lots of other sections providing additional information and tables because they really try to give you everything related to the study. So these can be quite long. If you want to get the PDF, the summary PDF would be just what we looked at in the beginning, the summary of findings. Standard PDF is going to show you all of the essential components of the systematic review. So this is going to be what you would expect to find published in a journal or something like that, although probably still longer. And then the full PDF is going to include all of these additional sections and appendices and all of that. So if you're using it for this assignment, the standard PDF will probably have more than enough information for you. And if you're interested in using a Cochrane review that you find in this database, then I would just encourage you to talk to your professor about how much of it is going to be useful for you, because some of these can run it up to like 100, 150 pages. It can be kind of overwhelming. So if you're looking at a review that's very, very long like this and you're not sure what you should be looking at, what you don't need to be looking at, then I would encourage you to check in with your professor.